There was an incident that happened that we're involved in that I need more answers and information about.
Yeah, go for it.
Harry Brown incident where anonymous 911 call came
I
through.
literally was about to talk to Brian about that.
Okay.
Give
Well,
context because I need guidance on something.
well, yeah. I want you to kind of just explain exactly what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, sure. So we got a 911 call from and this is like I can literally send you guys the search and seizure warrant and everything's in there, including the report. So what happened was, we got a 911 call, an anonymous call, stating that Harry Brown has human body parts in his trunk of his vehicle at the Cerberus parking lot. So myself, Gable, and Logan go, and I'm just like, okay, have such a bad feeling about this. So we check for any signs of tampering, and there's no signs of tampering, so we don't search the vehicle. We don't touch it. Harry Brown gets called down by Gable, and then the mayor, Denzel, and a couple of guild members also arrive. And I urge Harry, like, get yourself a lawyer. Like, I urge you to contact a lawyer. And he wanted to do that, so we stopped any questioning. And we didn't even really question him. The only thing we did was inform him that he was detained and that vehicle was to not be touched. We didn't handcuff him or anything like that. He was very cooperative. I called Bison because I trust him. He was was he command prior to the
It was
squash?
previously, but not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So he obviously has a lot more experience, and I wanted to do everything correctly rather than I didn't want any room for fuck up. And so everything was documented, and then Harry, we waited and waited for the lawyer, and the lawyer was busy with a different client in the cells of MRPD. And Harry just gave consent. We didn't ask for consent. We didn't like ask, hey, can we search it? He just gave consent. He was like, just search the vehicle. So then Bison and Gable searched it, and there was 15 kidneys within his vehicle. So Bison told me to take him to interrogation. So he was cuffed, Mirandaized, frisked, and there was nothing, no bulge, nothing. So we took him to interrogation. And I asked him just simple questions. Mind you, this is my first interrogation. There was other officers present or watching, so there was that, like more experienced officers watching. And then Gable was in the room with me as well, along with Harry and his lawyer. And at that time, the mayor and Denzel were outside as well. They weren't in the interrogation. And the questions that I asked Harry were like, is there anyone that could potentially be targeting you? Anyone that would want to frame you? Anyone that may do this because you're a part of the mayoral campaign? Just stuff like that. And he responded with no, I don't know. So there really wasn't much to go off from there in terms of his testimony or anything. He did mention how he had left the car there and got in the car with Denzel and Lang, went to Otto's, was gone for about 10-15 minutes before he received the call from Gable. So I find out later on, upon talking to people that are investigating other things, he was arrested for a kidney on his person prior.
And, it was Harry Brown?
Yeah, Harry. So then that gave grounds for a search warrant, basically. Like, okay, this isn't the first time he's been caught. And it made it seem more.
Wait a second. How would the person know who's framing Harry Brown to plant more livers and kidney if he's been arrested in the past for a kidney? Oh my god.
But I also know that.
Am I going down a rabbit hole right now?
I don't know how to explain it. I got a lot of guidance and help with that search warrant, but I feel like I don't have the guidance that I should have. I feel like I'm not saying I should have had my hand held, but I would have preferred a lot more security. There was nothing within the contents of his property besides contraband and third degree, which Winston encouraged me to take. I didn't really. I mean, it was just a duffel bag with nothing in it, you know. But I took it anyway. Left the raid receipt in there.
What was the duffel bag taken? What's inside of it?
There was nothing inside of it. He said take it because it's contraband. It's marked for police seizure.
Oh, okay. So that's it right there. So that's why it was a duffel bag only. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So was the door missing on the BMW? Because I was told the door was...
The passenger side door was missing.
Let me ask you something. At any point, did you feel like this was a setup?
Yes. And
why was a raid push on him if it was a victim of a crime?
I was advised to because it was within his
Who advised you to push the search warrant?
I mean, I don't think it was one person. I think it was one of those things where it's like he was caught with a kidney on his person prior. And the fact that he's got multiple other kidneys within his trunk. And also there's other information that is regarding a different investigation. I don't know the full context of the other investigation that people are working on. But
Fair.
I
just need to know exactly what's going on.
There are text messages between himself and someone else regarding kidneys. Which now I'm inclined to believe someone close to Harry has set him up. And I don't know how to go about that.
Give me 1 second.
I report this.
Lando, I'm doing something important. Can I call you back?
Bass, a Russian hacked my Twitter account and tweeted out that there was a bomb threat at Autos. It wasn't me.
Okay, there was somebody that hacked your account on Twitter and says a bomb threat at Autos?
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Okay, all right.
So the person that had a heart attack and died
right now?
Because of that, they...
I don't know, it's not drunken tweet.
No, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. Not drunk. What's up? What's up?
Okay. What the fuck? Are you okay? Where are you?
What?
Lando, you're scaring me. I don't like this psychotic laugh you got going on.
What laugh? Oh, sorry. I was just my friend was laughing and that made me laugh.
Okay. Go find some coffee and water and sober up. Why are you sniffing?
Oh, there's a fountain right here. Hey, you want to do Coke on Ray's fountain again, Lexi? Okay, we'll call you back.
Lando's high on cocaine.
I heard Lando's going through.
Ryan, can you check Twitter for Keith Wonderlust and see what he tweeted?
I already took a photo of it. He said Otto's closed brackets bomb.
What the fuck?
I'm just confused because if he was being labeled a victim, I was a raid push, right?
Well, I mean, it was one of those things. It was like, okay, so there's no tampering signs on the vehicle. He had kidneys within the trunk.
Well, the door was open, no? Wasn't the door missing?
So that's the weird thing. I don't really know how to go about that, but so the way that I saw it was, if this was the only time something like this has happened where he was, like, let's say the incident that happened a couple weeks ago where he was caught with a kidney didn't happen, then I probably would have been like, this is set like 100% a setup, you know?
Where the fuck did he...
But this is the second time, and it's also 15 counts of kidneys as well. So I think someone...
Right. So someone knows that Harry has been caught before with human possessions. Either it was someone in the inside from the PD, or they went down to the city hall, looked up his record, and saw that he's got 1 count of human possessions.
No, I think I know what's happened, but it's pertaining to a different investigation that isn't mine. I've just been informed of a section within their subpoena that pertains to my investigation in regards to this, and I don't know if I can disclose it.
But who's saying stuff like that? Absolutely, you're talking to me, Juno. You're not talking to any officer.
The thing is, I don't know. I haven't been informed of any of this. I don't know the SOPs of this sort of investigation stuff.
If a member of High Command asked you about investigation, then you should probably tell them what's going on.
So what happened was, so on the 30th of March, a text message between Jaeger and Harry, where Jaeger was stating he's getting a kidney for Harry, and Harry sounded pissed off about it. I don't know verbatim word for word because I haven't.
That wasn't a phone subpoena from Jaeger to Harry.
Yeah, I don't know if which individual was subpoenaed. I think it was Harry that was subpoenaed, and they saw that. Harry wasn't happy. It seemed like he wasn't happy about that text. The next day, Harry gets arrested and has a kidney on his person.
Julie Paul, who remembers that?
Guilty to it.
Pokey, my queen.
This makes me believe that picture. And also the day, in the Cerberus parking garage, so Harry, Lang, and...
I can read it out. It says...
Yes, please do.
I've been taking kidneys out of people. The Jaeger says to Harry, I've been taking kidneys out of people I find just to make sure no one can help donate to you when you die. Harry to
What?
Jaeger,
Is
love you, nephew. And then responds, don't waste time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind.
Why is
So-
Jaeger pissed at Harry? What the fuck happened?
I don't know, but guess what? So we when Lang, Harry, and Denzel arrived together, the three of them were together when we found the car, and that 911 came in. Maybe a minute later, I believe Jaeger and a couple other guild members arrive in a separate vehicle. I feel like Jaeger, I like potentially Jaeger setting him up. I don't know, but also I don't know a lot of this context. Like when I've gone to people and I've been like, hey, should I raid him? He's been caught with this, that, and I've explained the entire situation. People have been like, yeah, go for it. You just need to be able to articulate it well. So I was like, okay. So I'm under the impression that I should raid him, not, and now I'm being pushed to potentially subpoena him, and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
I don't
because
think
it's like,
there's
why
should
should I?
is you can. You can
Yeah,
subpoena somebody.
exactly.
You
And-
can raid somebody. Doesn't mean you should.
That's
because
what
you
I'm.
can.
That's exactly what I said to Brian. I was like, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do it. Because I have morals, and I feel like I'm so frustrated with people in the PD not treating people just because they're criminals as human beings. And this, I feel like, borders on that. It's like just because we can do something doesn't mean we should fuck over someone's life by doing that. That is their private text messages. That is subpoenas. That, you know, just because we can do it doesn't mean we have the right to fucking read that shit. You know, and my life is probably in danger because of that raid. So be it, whatever. I hate that, but like I just feel like there should be better guidance with this shit. Because I don't want to fuck anyone's day up. I don't want to fuck anyone's work up. But I want to be able to get involved in investigations. I want to be able to do the right thing. I just feel like there isn't guidance with that. So I don't know. I'm a little bit pissed off, and I'm very anxious about this stuff.
Who pushed you to move it forward? Because I vaguely remember you bringing this up before all the raids happened. But remember Bundy and I didn't have time to look at it.
Yeah.
Did you, like, who are the people you kind of asked for guidance for? And this isn't to like get them in trouble or anything like that.
No. So a lot of the people that I was very involved, I spoke to Winston a lot.
Oh no.
I got
Oh, no.
guidance from like Hayes.
Oh, no, she said
Hayes
Winston.
and Fireball moreover informed me of like other like their sort of situation and whatnot. And like just like explaining how raids work and
I get that, but I want to know who's trying to push this narrative down your throat. Because we need to correct
what, the
that.
subpoena.
No, trying to push for a raid just because you can. Understanding this was a setup. I don't think a raid should have happened. I'm gonna tell you what, Juno.
Okay.
There should have been other avenues to try to investigate this and figure out who's behind it, and then going from there. I feel like
Okay.
if somebody's gonna be labeled as a victim and we're trying to work with them, I just don't understand the point of the raid and what the objective was behind it, unless
think
there's
I'm
something I'm
gonna-
missing in the whole thing.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like you should do this, you should do this, you have to do this, and like them shoving that down my throat. I thought but it was sort of, and I don't think it was malicious intent either. I think it was people just being like, yeah, I mean, he's been caught with this twice now, especially with the fact that now there's like a shit ton in his trunk, so you should go for the raid. It was
Right,
like
but
that.
but context doesn't matter though. Every single circumstance is not the same, right? It's not black and white. I wish it was black and white. I think that would make our job a lot easier. There's a whole lot of gray in between,
I think there's a lot of people in our police department that think that way, though.
and that's a problem. And we need to change that. That's why I'm
Exactly.
trying to come to you and understand who's trying to guide
Yeah.
you that way, because we need to correct that behavior.
I mean, I genuinely, like, I spoke to a lot of people, but the subpoena stuff, like that thing that I feel very uncomfortable by, where I adore Winston, but it made me uncomfortable the way he spoke about, like, you should go for a subpoena because you didn't find anything in the raid. I'm like, no, that's a stretch. That's literally pushing boundaries, and that's not within my morals. Like, what? Just because he's a criminal, like, I still give a shit. Like, I don't care if I get along with someone or if I don't get along with someone or if they hate me or want me dead. I'm still gonna be fair. And that's why I wanted to talk to Brian about it, because he's the fairest cop I know, and as is Bundy, but Bundy's not around today. So, yeah, I don't know. That, like, yeah. I hope what I'm saying is making sense, but I will tell you, I've had so much information go through my brain and out my brain and in my brain over the past few days. so many like reports I've written. I've had my attention focused on so many different avenues. I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put the blame on you, right? I'm just trying to figure out what happened exactly to where we got to this point so we can correct the behavior and stop allowing this to happen over and over again. Because that is the Achilles heel of the PD is we let things slide and eventually they become a massive avalanche of a problem. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening and trying to talk to these officers, not to just scream in their ear and tell them they're wrong, but to also help them understand the direction and objective we're trying to accomplish here. And that's something I want to start with regarding this, so it does not become a problem again.
No, I mean, I suppose 100%, and I'm sorry that I had a part to play in that. I mean,
Juno,
ignorance
you are going to make
doesn't-
mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. It's how we learn from this is the most important thing. How else we can get better?
I want to be able to learn I want to be able to learn this shit correctly, and I feel like I just had a really shit string of luck, you know? Because I'm always trying to be kind and whatnot, and I just feel like potentially I've made some unnecessary enemies because I thought I was doing my job.
And that's going to happen. I mean, you're going to make enemies along the way as a police officer because people see you as opposition. There's nothing wrong with that. That's something you gotta embrace and just get ready for. Is it okay? Probably not. But some people are irrational. They don't use logic when it comes to reason. However, we can control within the PD. And you are going to make some mistakes. That's okay. I'm not coming here saying, oh, how dare you make this mistake. I just want to understand what happened exactly so I can correct it.
Yeah.
And I want you to learn from this. I don't want you to fear doing your job or not be able to, be a bit aggressive at times. I still want that in the PD, but at the same time, we have to err on the side of caution when it comes to something that we know for a fact is a setup or this person is being set up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, one now, like, Brian, I'd like to know your thoughts as well, if that's possible.
I have to give you like the PG version. You're still learning. Don't beat yourself up. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Juno. Be careful who you learn from.
Keep it a buck 150, okay? Not a buck.
Wait, you want me to give her a $150 of like what I actually think?
Keep it a buck 150, yeah.
So you want me to be completely transparent?
I mean, I want you to be you. I'm just saying, keep it a buck 150. That's all. Not a buck.
Oh, what the fuck does buck 150 mean?
That means
I don't even know what a buck 150 means.
It's slightly more than a buck.
Okay.
Dude, what is Lizard Eye saying in chat, man?
Juno, I think
this guy talking about Star Wars?
Before. I think you have a lot of good attributes to you. Specifically, you're eager, you're interested, and you're willing to learn, and that is more than anyone would want to ask for. For someone that I think you got the right attributes. I think you need the right guidance.
Oh, dude.
The problem is most of those that can provide guidance in this space are dog shit. So
where do I go to then?
I think take your time. And what we'll do is we'll try to point you at the right individuals.
Okay. Like,
so,
I feel like the right individuals are very busy. That's the thing.
The thing is, and I'm going to expand on that adjective because dog shit can mean a lot of things. There's only a handful of people that can write subpoenas, that can write warrants. But equally, how do I put this? The amount of times when I was first learning how to investigate, the amount of people that would like look at two pieces of evidence and then give you this narrative of like, you need to raid, you need this, you should obviously do that, and only to find out like 6 months later that said individuals have never been to court, have never written a plea deal, have never ran a case for more than 24 hours. There's a lot of people that will give you their 2 cents, and little do you realize that they've got 0 experience behind it.
Yeah, I feel that.
So if someone looks at something at a high level, you're gonna get a lot of like pretend expertise. Am I making any sense right now?
No,
I'm
you were
11 and a
making
half hours.
no. You're actually making sense. I know exactly what you mean. It's
So-
people who seem like they're doing the work, but then when it comes to the actual work, they don't commit.
Exactly. They won't look at the details, and they'll do the bare minimum to actually help you move forward. So you almost have to, you almost have to like shop yourself and try to figure out who's actually been successful
Bundy.
and lean on them.
You? I mean, who else? You know?
I mean, you got Hayes.
Yeah,
She's
Hayes
been
is someone
successful.
that I think Hayes is brilliant.
We have a limited amount of detectives
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, I can't even think of that many.
I think
off the top
Minerva
of
is
my head.
very well with explaining things. She explained a lot of things to me that I
Minerva
really
Map's a
appreciate.
good one. Mhm.
Yeah.
But you also want to take a look at those whom dealt with particular areas. Does that
I
make
don't know,
sense?
man. The music makes it more dramatic when
I
it's
don't
not.
wanna
I don't know,
put some
chat.
people in a bucket, but like
I
if
get
they've
into it when I hear the
primarily
music.
been looking into like serial killers per se,
Yeah.
they're not necessarily gonna have the same experience dealing with a mega gang.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to
There's
touch this
certain
with the
leeways
yeah.
that you're gonna deal with like a serial killer, and a different set of leeways you're gonna deal with a gang. Are you picking up on what I'm putting down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
no,
of
I
this
am.
stuff cannot be
investigations-
easily said in the city.
Exactly. Listen, find the balance is really hard, you know. You're not gonna get it right away. It took me a year to figure out what kind of
Yeah.
police officer I want to be, and how to fit in the system that is
I know-
ever changing and you know is constantly.
I know what
revolving
kind
door,
of police
right?
officer I want to be, and I think I'm slowly getting there. Police officer I want to be is, the police officer that I want to be is someone that is a people's person, unlike the people's cop. And I know that sounds cringe, but yes, only yesterday did I have a gang member come to me and tell me sensitive information pertaining to an investigation because they said, I trust you as a person. And that meant the entire world to me. So the fact that I've been able to achieve that, what I've wanted from the get-go, is great. I just want to help people. People are my priority. You know, I want people to feel like I have their best interest at heart and their safety at heart, and that's it. That's it. And I want to be able to be useful and helpful. That's literally it. Nothing more. I don't care about winning. I don't care about losing. I don't care if I lose a case. You know, if that's how the judge perceives it, then I respect that. You know? But that's just the kind of person I am. Like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of other cops see things very black and white though. When the city is a massive gray area.
I look, we just frankly don't have a framework for investigating. We don't.
No, it's always been
And-
passed on by somebody else who's in charge.
And so like it's kind of like a fucking, what is it? Like there's a lot of cowboys. I mean, I did a lot of crazy shit way back when. You had to learn from look, and it's more complicated than that too. Our fucking justice system is completely fucked.
I mean,
That adds a
yeah,
lot
you're
to
telling me. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean it expands beyond what I think you have even seen yet. You know,
Really?
it's you have to understand that things were not as complicated as they are today.
Yeah.
So, a warrant 2 years ago does not read like warrants today. we've also gotten more tools, but there's sort of like arbitrary laws surrounding them. And you inherently have to keep up with the laws. You have to be almost a part-time lawyer to do things right.
And
and here's another thing. I'm going to throw something else at you too. And Bass can attest to this. I have not been the master of my own destiny for every major case I've done in the last 6 months.
What does that mean?
Bass, how would you put it?
Say what you said one more time.
I have not been the master of my own destiny for all of my major cases in the last 6 months.
He's saying shit happens. You can't control the start and the finish of an investigation. And sometimes you get the boot.
Yeah, I feel that. I want to express my frustration with something, and I think that made me sort of lose a lot of faith in, I wouldn't say the PD, but I lost a lot of faith in people that worked for SCU, or had that detective mindset. A few months ago, I was kidnapped with Jeffy Coldiron, who's a doctor. We were both off duty. We were coincidentally a burger shop together.
Yep.
We were kidnapped by Irido, Cy Carter, and Reed Dankleaf and taken to the mine shafts. I was forced on a cot bed, and at gunpoint, Jeffy was forced with rusty medical equipment and without any drugs to numb any sort of pain. He was forced to operate on me and cut through my liver. I was in the ICU for a few days and whatnot. And then a few days later, I get an anonymous ping to a Christmas tree in the middle of Legion Square with my rotten liver in it, in like a present. I went to, I think,
Jesus.
11 individuals who have either had experience with prosecuting cases or part of SU, in which almost every single
Right
one
now, all
of
your
them
PD's playing
said,
technically
I'm
because they
too
want a
busy,
big W get
or I
hired,
don't
but it's
wanna
not
deal
the
with
reason you
this.
get hired.
And so finally, when someone decided to pick up on the case, everything was going fine. The shit hit the docket and whatnot. And then that specific individual was then kidnapped. And I was dealing with a dead body that had gone through a meat grinder. And no one else responded to the 78's call of her being kidnapped. I can't leave a dead body. And that individual was part of SCU. So I was certain that they would understand. Like, that's an investigation. Someone just tried to kill someone and they're fucking dead. Turns out that without even coming to hear my side of the story, they go onto the docket immediately after that they're found, I think maybe 30 minutes later, and that they're safe, go into the docket and say that they're dropping from the case. That leads the other prosecutor to drop from the case too, which then led me to have to email the judge and say there's no one else to prosecute it. I'm going to be...
What case is this?
This was me being kidnapped and harassed by... Cy Carter, Reed Dankleaf, Elizabeth Byrne was involved, Irido was involved. This thing went on for months in which I was attacked for simply dating someone at the time, and then I had my liver forcibly removed. Like, I was operated on. There was human trafficking involved in this. There was acts of torture. There was so much
so
shit
dramatic for
involved
no
in
reason?
this. And then because someone just didn't want to hear what the fuck was, and I texted this person and I said, immediately after I got the notification, I texted that person and I said, hey, like, this isn't cool. I was dealing with a dead body. And they said, I'm sure you'll be fine. Good luck with it, or something along those lines. And I was just like, you are exactly the problem. You are the problem that you won't change. You have become the problem that you hate so much when people don't... It wasn't even just about me. It wasn't just about my trauma. It was Jeffy as well. It was other people that were involved who were hurt by that. I mean, Jeffy is a doctor who couldn't go into the operating room for a while after that. So it goes beyond just me. And me as a victim, I should not have gone to 10 plus people and asked for their aid. It should not be my job.
You're never gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get it. people here are look. You're getting like 11 and a half hour Brian, right? Like I have a hard time
No, you're fine.
sugarcoating.
Look, don't sugarcoat anything. Be honest, dude.
Say it, Brian.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Listen,
Say it
all
with
of
your
Los
chest.
Santos, everyone is selfish in Los Santos. It's a part of what
1000%.
being in Los Santos is
It's
about.
the ecosystem that we have here.
It's gonna be about me. And don't get it twisted, even with this conversation, criminals come to us and complain about dumb shit all the time. Most people, and I've said this about the judges as well, is you go to a court case and whether it goes, no matter what side the verdict lands on, 5% listen to what the judge is actually saying, and the side that loses cries like a bunch of pussies.
It happens every single time.
Understand what the judge says instead of saying,
because they tune it out.
Hey,
They don't
let
listen
me
to it.
hear why we lost and how I could do better. Instead, come up with some brain dead explanation as to what actually happened and then run with it.
when I went to a bench trial recently, like people shamed me for wanting to learn. Like, how does one develop and grow?
How do you think I feel in court when I got fucking
Yeah.
almost bullied by
So
Wrangler?
bullshit.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Fucking bullshit.
You can't let the people who are trying to bring you down actually bring you down, Juno.